Have you ever had employees or like anyone that have worked for you have like, wow, I've actually developed more of interest in chiropractic care, or I really want to be a chiropractor or anything like that?
Absolutely. We have a system. We have like a division in our practices where we take on a lot of students from universities, local
Wow.
universities, and it's a great opportunity for students to decide if this is a field they want to get into. Now you have to remember, because we have chiropractic, physiotherapy, acupuncture, we encourage them to learn every aspect of the practitioners. And a lot of times, like one of our new staff members was a summer student working for us, probably like 10 years ago, and is now our third, at my location, our fourth chiropractor.
Wow.
So he just developed the concrete, a desire. Like he knew he wanted to be a chiropractor after working with us, and we helped coach him and mold him. And now he's working with us and he's loving it, and he's a huge success. All of our patients love him.
Wow.
And he's also familiar in the neighborhood, in the community. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it's cool because, I've helped a lot of chiropractors with a lot of different, like just with marketing or with, getting them patients and things like that. What do you find that chiropractors should know, but maybe don't know, and maybe they should know when either they're practicing or when they're actually starting to become a chiropractor? What do you think? Like, obviously you've done it for so long that you kind of know a lot of things that you shouldn't do, right? So what are some things that you think that some chiropractors should do, but maybe they weren't taught to do?
I think one of the things that's missing, and I'm not sure if it's different in the US because I am in Canada, but I did study in the United States, so I do practice more of an American model, is communication. So there's still a little bit of a small stigma against chiropractic, right? I don't make the adjustments scary because it's not. It's an absolute gift to get an adjustment, to get your body aligned properly. And that's what I tell people. I don't talk about it I think chiropractors need to be communicating better, need to be explaining what it is that we do, what are the end results, what's the end goal, communicating on the adjustment. It's not something that you should be fearing. It's something that you should be welcoming and just enjoying reaping the benefits of it. So communication, I think, is key. We need to communicate better with our patients, for sure.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with you, because I think what's interesting is I found when there's lack of communication in anything, even with other employees or even just, clients of ours, it's just you don't get what you want and the person doesn't get what he wants. And then he kind of feels upset because there's this little like blockage of like, how can I talk to you? Or how come I can't talk to you? You know what I mean? So I find that's super important, just to actually communicate and really tell you what you think. Because sometimes I've had a lot of people who are doctors and just, patients who don't listen to doctors or chiropractors, where they are told something and they don't do it. I'm sure you've had that a couple times, right? Where they just say something, you need to do this, or something's going to happen to you. And they're like, oh, no, I'll be fine. Or they say, oh, yeah, I'll do it. But then they end up not doing it, which I'm sure you've had before, right?
Oh, every day.
So I guess, like, have you ever had patients or like, even I wouldn't say employees, but more like patients where like you told them to do something and like they kind of just don't do it?
Yes, all the time. So the way I handle that is, I come up with a treatment plan. So based on what you're presenting with, right? So and it's different for everybody, but you have a treatment plan. You have to follow the treatment plan, because I tell them, this is what's going to happen. I already know. So let's say you need 4 visits and then you're going to start to feel better. I'm very clear. You're going to maybe get worse before you get better. And then you're going to feel like the upward trend. If you don't follow what I'm telling you, you're going to take longer to get better. You might not even get better, and you might actually make things worse. So every person that comes through my clinic has a protocol. So you definitely have to walk. Okay. It doesn't matter what your injury is. You have to be active. I mean, it depends if something is broken, but if it's mechanical low back pain, for example, you must walk, you must stretch, you must take magnesium. Okay. Before you go to bed. There are a few things that I make sure that they do, and I check them off the list, and I say, this is what's going to happen. Next time you come in, if you haven't followed all those things, well, you're obviously hindering your own improvement. And we talk about it, and I remind you again. Over the years, though, I've done a really good job of like explaining to people, proving to people. So a lot of my referrals are coming from existing clients. So this way they already know, and their friends and family can say to them, listen, if you don't listen to her, you're not going to get better. So it actually works. And my whole team does the same thing. We follow the same type of protocol because we know it worked. It works. Right. It's, tested and timed and true, and it works.
Right. Yeah, I think it's true, because if you don't follow it, then you're kind of like, you don't go the way it's planned. And so I think that's very important what you're mentioning about, like, you need to follow exactly what the steps are, because then it's just not going to happen otherwise. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about it. If you're taking a prescription drug and the doctor says to you, you have an infection, you need to take antibiotics 3 times a day for 7 days. Are you not going to follow those instructions? Absolutely. Because you know that in 7 days, your infection is going to clear if you have, bronchitis or whatever it is so it's the same thing. Just my prescription is not medicine. My prescription is, keeping the body moving and all that. So if you follow the rules and if you follow the protocol, you will get better.
Right. Good. Awesome.